Good morning, everyone. Welcome to everyone that's attended. Welcome to our work experience students sitting at the back. Hope you find this interesting and useful. Thank you, Julia, for bringing them. Welcome to all our visitors, and welcome to those who may be watching online. As it's a wet day, perhaps they've got nothing better to do than watch us online, which would be great. And we have started live streaming for those members in the room. So I'm going to go to item 1, the minutes, to confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 21st of March on pages 3 to 8 of the agenda pack. Are there any queries on the accuracy of the meeting? No? Can I ask the committee to vote? Raise your hands, all those in favour of the minutes? Thank you. We will alter that. Thank you, Julie. All in favour is unanimous. Thank you, Julie. I have signed the minutes. Apologies, Julie. Do we have any apologies, please?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Yes, we have apologies from Councillor Morton, Councillor Sarah Taylor and Councillor Cogman. Councillor Kittle-Morris is in attendance for Councillor Morton, and we have Councillor Ray O'Callaghan here as an observer.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Item 3, declaration of interest. Do any committee members have any interest to declare? At this stage, I will declare a personal interest in item 7, which is the Public Spaces Protection Order, as I'm a Watton resident and I did take part in the consultation. So for that item, I will ask my Vice Chairman Taylor to take that item. Item 4, urgent business, I have none. Item 5, non-members wishing to address the meeting. We always welcome our non-members to the meeting. Item 6, member training. Right, Councillor Webb.
Thank you. Yes, the team are working on it, and we'll have something definite for you next meeting. So it's a wide subject, obviously.
Okay, but I am going to ask Sarah to share her thoughts, because we did raise last time about member training for safeguarding. We raised about DBS checks and whether we should re-sign the code of conduct, those issues. So I'll hand over to Sarah to make a comment on that.
Thank you, Chair. So, not in any particular order, but in terms of re-signing, we don't consider it's necessary. Members sign the declaration every 4 years when they're duly re-elected and reappointed. So we consider that is sufficient. In terms of safeguarding training, it's more or less there and ready to go. I've got 2 other colleagues who will give the training with me. I just wanted to canvass members as to when do you consider it would be a good time to have the training, and when are we likely to get more take up, and when is it more convenient for members? So would an evening slot be better than during the day, or should we do one of each? Any particular days of the week?
Speak freely. Mark.
I think you might get better attendance if you did it immediately after council.
Okay.
That would be, you'd have obviously the maximum number of members in the room, and if you scheduled that for an hour after the council meeting, that would be good. But probably not the next one.
No.
No. Taylor?
I'm in agreement with Mark. If not, I would suggest 2 sessions so that anyone that might not be able to make one day could make the other, so that as they can turn it. One is definitely then she suggested, but I think Mark's suggestion in the first instance would probably be the best.
Yeah. Richard, Peter, any comment?
Evenings would be better for those of us that work.
Okay, and what sort of time in the evening?
I'm looking at 5 o'clock.
Right, okay. Right. Richard, do you have any preference? No. I'm going to ask Ray, as he's another member, here as an observer. What's your view on timing of this particular training?
I agree with the first sentence, to be honest with you. I agree that's straight.
Yes, I agree with both sentiments, to be honest. Straight after full council does make perfect sense, because most people are here already. I know from my colleagues, they do take time off work on that Thursday, especially to attend it, so for them that would be convenient. But also, yes, we have colleagues who work 5 days a week, so again, one evening session online might be preferable as well. So yeah, I'll go with both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I agree with both.
Okay, so if we do one after council,
Yeah.
one in the evening, I think we're going to try and encourage that it's face-to-face rather than online, because obviously safeguarding's a serious matter.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get more out of it if it is face-to-face. So, okay, thank you.
Yes.
I'll work on that.
Anything else on member
Oh.
training you want to add?
No. What was the third thing on your list? DBS.
DBS.
checks.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at that, so just bear with me, and next time I'll come back with my advice.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions for Sarah from the committee on any of those topics we've covered? No? Thank you very much. Okay, we move on to item 7, so I shall vacate the chair. I will stay in the room, but I will just listen.
I feel a bit short. Thank you, everybody. Item 7 is the Public Spaces Protection Order for Watton. We have Councillor Tristan Ashby with us as the Executive Member for Health and Communities to present the report and propose and quote the recommendation that can be found on page 9 of the agenda pack.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Vice Chair. Good morning, Committee. Many thanks for giving me the opportunity to present this paper, the purpose of which is to consider the renewal of the existing Public Spaces Protection Order for a further 3-year period. This report provides the background to the PSPO and an evaluation of its effectiveness from key stakeholders. I would like to introduce the report for the renewal of the existing Public Spaces Protection Order in Watton. I would refer the committee members to the information contained in the report, which also contains a plan of the proposed area. The report recommends renewal of the existing PSPO on a like-for-like basis. This is not a new order. A PSPO has been in place in this exact location since July 2021, and if not renewed, will expire on the 19th of July this year. There has been consultation on this proposal, and there is overwhelming support for the renewal from respondents who were 100% in favour, who responded to the consultation, from Norfolk Police and from Watton Town Council. The PSPO is an effective tool, and by extending the PSPO for a further 3 years, demonstrates the Council's commitment to addressing the concerns around reducing and preventing crime and protecting the community and its environment. Breckland Council work closely with Norfolk Constabulary and is very much a partnership approach. And to demonstrate this, we have a senior police officer here today who, along with our officers, will be happy to answer any questions and provide any assurances you would wish on this matter. It is therefore recommended that members approve option 2 contained within the report to ensure the continual operation of the Public Spaces Protection Order in Watton Town Centre. Thank you.
Thank you. And can I please have a seconder to that proposal? Mark Kendall-Morris. Is there any questions from members? Yes, Mark.
Just a comment, really, Madam Vice Chair. I think there's, by renewing this PSPO, we're responding to the results of the consultation by extending for a further 3 years and showing our commitment to address the concerns of residents and businesses in reducing and preventing crime and the environment of the Watton Town Centre. There are obviously risks to renewing the PSPO. These are, I believe, adequately covered in section 7.9 of the report. I do have one question, really. This was, the original PSPO in 2020 was approved by full council. Obviously, there wasn't a GP committee at that particular time in 2020. Has the authority to do this, to approve this, been transferred adequately to this committee?
Yes, as far as I'm aware, I don't know whether Sarah wants to just confirm that, but as far as I'm aware, that power was transferred to General Purposes Committee, and I think when we did the Thetford one as well, that the committee did approve it. So as far as I'm aware, that power did transfer from full council to General Purposes. I think we have agreement from Sarah, but
Sorry.
just.
Yes, I believe that to be the case.
Any further questions? None? Okay, so the recommendation that the General Purposes Committee approve option 2, paragraph 4.3 of the report to approve the renewal of the Public Spaces Protection Order in and without variation. Can I have, please, all in favour? That is unanimous. Thank you very much.
Just mark mine down as abstaining.
Of course. Linda, I'll let you have your chair back.
Thank you, Taylor. We now move on to item 8, the Financial Wellbeing Salary Sacrifice Scheme, and I will ask Councillor Webb to introduce this report.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm pleased to present to you today a recommendation to extend the salary sacrifice offer to include the option for a staff to purchase additional financial planning support. At no cost to the Council, from June 2024, employees will be able to access personalised financial wellbeing support from a specially trained financial coach provided by an external provider. Given the challenges presented by the current financial climate, which we all know about, it is important for the Council to support employees' financial well-being. As we know, financial stability not only affects just work, but also personal lives, impacting mental health and job performance. The recommendation is to agree a salary sacrifice option where, following the free financial coaching session, if the employee wishes to seek further long-term financial support, they can do this and pay for this service through their salary as part of the salary sacrifice scheme. I have Claire with me today to help me with any technical questions you might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Kiddle-Morris, thank you. And questions from the committee? Mark.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think it's probably apposite to add this particular facility to the salary sacrifice scheme in view, as you say, of the current financial situation. I was interested to read that for a year you could take £299 of your salary and get a year's financial support. I just wonder whether that was in terms of what engagement you'd get for that money. In terms of one-to-one, was it one-to-one or on a video screen or whatever? And I just wondered how many sessions you'd get for that.
Absolutely, yes. Happy to answer that. So it's they call that the full financial planning, and that's bespoke with a coach, a financial coach. And what you get for that is a bespoke financial plan based on your short, medium and long-term goals, and that's 3 hours with a coach, and it would be online because it's a national company. And then you get a discussion and plan and support of what your next steps will be, which would be another hour, and then you get 6 months support from a coach, which is 2 30-minute sessions as well. Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? No? Richard, did you want to ask something? No. Okay, sorry. I couldn't read your body language. Okay, so on that point, the recommendation is, as Councillor Webb read out, we've had it seconded. Can I have a show of hands for all those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you, Julie. Item 9, HR Policy Changes 2024. Councillor Webb again.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, so as you know, we regularly review all our internal HR policies at Breckland, and we have some suggested amendments for decision today. There are 2 policies which require your consideration. The first one is the remote-enabled policy, which replaces the Agile policy. During COVID, the Agile policy was written to ensure that staff were able to work very flexibly during times when it was impossible or difficult to attend the office. Our landscape has now changed. More and more staff are coming into the office regularly and enjoying the benefits gained from face-to-face collaboration. This is something we want to promote and continue for the benefit of our staff and our residents. In most cases, we encourage our staff to work at least 2 to 3 days in the office or out in the community every week, depending on their role. That's the first one. The second one is the training policy. Do you want to do these one at a time and take questions one at a time?
I think so. That would
yeah,
be
okay.
easier. Yes.
Yeah, right, I'll stop at that point then.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a seconder for that first policy change? Thank you, Taylor. Questions from the floor?
It's really a comment, I suppose, rather than a question, because I read that particular policy, and I thought, well, that actually applies to me as well. Is there anything in the pipeline to actually ensure that we as members working remotely at home have got the same support, in inverted commas, for health and safety and that sort of thing?
Thank you very much. Yeah, happy to answer. So the policy was actually written with staff and members in mind. So in terms of the rules and the boundaries that wrap around that, we don't necessarily require you to be in the environment in the same way that we would do our officers. But in terms of the guidelines around how we can help and support you, that will apply to members.
Thank you, Mark. Anything else from the committee? I've just got 2 questions. In the very first paragraph on page 28 of the agenda, the paragraph above policy aim, you don't mention elected members in that list of why you're doing this. So you say a variety of ways and places that will support collaboration, customer interaction, stakeholder engagement and the delivery of high performance outcomes, but you're not mentioning including elected members in there, so I would just like that little amendment put in. Yep. And the other item was, and this is just a technical question really, so under working arrangements, and we know the team leaders and the managers are keeping an eye on their whole team, don't have an issue with that. But in the last paragraph under working arrangements, no, not that one, the third paragraph under working arrangements, we ask that employees be available during business hours. Can you just clarify what you call business hours? Is that the old core time of 10 to 3 that we used to have, or is it different now?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Happy to answer. So the reason it's quite generic is because traditionally and typically it's 9 to 5. We operate during office hours, but not every single role in the council is a 9 to 5 job. We have lots of officers who go out into the community and who are required to attend meetings that perhaps outside of those hours. So it's written very generically to make sure that we encompass everybody.
Okay, thank you. And the second part on that same paragraph, and again it's a technical question, so if an officer's working at home that day, how does his or her team manager know that they are? Do they log on? Do they log off? Is there a system within their computer that tells you when they're working?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So one of the things that we've clarified within the policy is how important it is to keep our diaries up to date so that we're available and accessible and that people can see where we are and how we're working on a day-to-day basis. That's included in there sort of later on or perhaps a little bit before in the policy. We also have a system which recognises when people are online. So, for example, when you use what we call a Teams application, it will show how you're working. You can set it to online, which is green. You can set it to sort of on pause, which is amber. And then if you're out of office, it also shows as red, so you can see just by the colour, and that applies to our emails as well.
Yeah. No, that's very useful, because we all know in all our lives, whether we're in an office or at home or wherever, some emergency might crop up. You know, you get a call from school, come and collect your child, they've been sick, and that system you have will show that for that hour or whatever it is, the office is not available and offline. Yeah.
It does very clearly.
Thank you very much. Right, if there's no more questions or queries, can we take a show of hands on the first recommendation to approve the reviewed remote enabled policy, which replaces the agile policy? All in favour? Unanimous. Thank you very much. And we'll now move on to the second recommendation with Councillor Webb, which is to approve the reviewed training policy.
Thank you. Okay, the second policy which has been reviewed is the training policy. It's been reviewed with minor amendments to ensure that we continue to support the development of our staff and to ensure that the responsibilities of staff and managers are clearly articulated. To confirm, the cost implications of both of these, which we've talked about, both of these recommendations are zero, and we've got Natalie here, which you know about anyhow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We've already had a seconder for that whole recommendation, so questions from the floor? Nope. Nope. Everyone happy? That's good. May I have a show of hands, please, in favour of? Unanimous. Thank you very much. We now move on to item 10, the next meeting. You'll see on your agenda it says Thursday the 11th of July. This date may change by either a week before or a week after, because we need to accommodate another meeting. So I'm working with our officers on doing that. So just make a note in your diaries, it could change by a week either way. That's right, isn't it, Julie? Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all coming. Thank you, officers. Thank you, members. Thank you, visitors. And I hope you have a good work experience with Breckland during your week. And I will now close the meeting. Thank you very much.